Namaste, beautiful souls. It's Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. I am back. If you can hear me, let me know. What a wild trip I've had. I've been away over the weekend. I left on Friday to go to New Mexico for a retreat at a place called the Domes. It's in High Rolls, New Mexico. And it started off with some interesting travel escapades, and then it was wonderful. And then on the way home, it was crazy, but also beautiful at the same time. And so, thank you, Ultimus, for the sound check. I appreciate you. I wanted this presentation, this live stream, just to get back to you guys because I missed you so much. And also to give you a brief distraction from the selection process that's occurring tonight, basically the Super Bowl of politics. So if you're all interested and you're here, thank you so much for coming. If not, that's okay. Watch it later. So I've literally been home for about an hour and 15 minutes. This is the bottle of water that I had on the plane on the way home. But I wanted to share with you guys the journey that I went on. Oh, you can't see the video? Look up. Uh-oh. Let's see what happened. Let's just check. I see myself. Wonder if it'll cut off. But yes, hello, Lori. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. I've missed you. I feel like I've been gone for a very long time. But because what I went through over the weekend was nothing short of amazing and miraculous and wonderful. I have a group of women that I've been chatting with for about 2 years now. About every other Monday, maybe once or twice a month, we just get together on a Zoom call and we support ourselves spiritually and emotionally, holding space for each other, letting each other vent. It's private, it's intimate, and I did not realize how much I truly loved these women until I met them in person. So I left for New Mexico on Friday morning on the 1st. We had trick-or-treating the night before. My friends were still here. We gave out like 300 pieces of candy. It was really a lot of fun. But I left around 4:30 in the morning to catch my flight. And it was already 30 minutes late, which was fine because I had about an hour and a half layover. By the time I got to the airport and we landed in Houston, this was where I was going to pick up my connecting flight to El Paso. We landed on time, but we didn't have a gate. So we sat on the tarmac for about 30 minutes and I had to run. Like I have never run so fast in my life. I used to run half marathons, but this is totally different when you have luggage and you're trying to get to your next flight and they're boarding and you have literally like 3 minutes to get there. Thankfully, I did. But my chest was on fire. My heart was pounding. My legs were on fire. It was crazy. But I made the flight, so I was very happy. But in my experience, when you have a kind of a tight connection like that, where you have to run, your bag does not follow you. And that suspicion was confirmed the moment I landed in El Paso. Now, when I got to the airport, I had a little while to wait for my friends to show up. We were waiting on 4 people to show up. One person was already at the Domes. Her aunt owns the place. So she had already been there since Tuesday. So the first person to arrive, we hugged for like 2 minutes. And then we got the rental car secured, and then we just chatted until the other 2 ladies showed up. When they got there, it was the same thing. It was like tears and joy and hugging and just, oh my God, it was so incredibly wonderful and amazing. And the bad news is that now that everyone was there, we had to wait about 2 hours for my bag to show up on the next flight. It actually traveled from Corpus to Houston, and then from Houston to San Antonio, and then from San Antonio to El Paso. And we finally picked it up around 2:00 in the afternoon. Then we drove about an hour into Alamogordo, where we picked up all of our groceries. And then we took this windy dirt road, about a 12-mile long dirt road up the mountain. And it took us about an hour. It was only 12 miles, but it took us an hour to get to the top. Once we got there, it was about 6:00 in the evening and the sun was setting. So we kind of just settled in, got some dinner, did our sort of opening reflection and summoned, spoke to the goddess to bring her into our circle. And then we went to bed. And then Saturday, we went to White Sands, New Mexico, which was about an hour from where we were staying. And when we got there, you guys, if you have not been to White Sands, you need to go. You need to go. You need to check it out. It's absolutely otherworldly. We buried one of our friends in the sand, did a little healing ritual around her, kind of circled around her while it was going on. I was playing my singing bowl. Absolutely spectacular. And oddly enough, it was actually warm. So we had such a great time. Um, then we left there and we didn't have enough time to go to any other things that we were thinking about because we wanted to get up the mountain before it got dark. So we headed back to the place. We had some dinner. We did tarot cards and I drank a little bit too much wine. I had, 2 to 3 glasses, I think. And then the last glass of wine, I absolutely regretted it once I went to bed. But before I went to bed that night, one of the tarot cards that we pulled was off someone's oracle deck. And I don't have a picture of that card right now, but I will find it and get it to you because I'm going to do a video montage for you guys probably next week. But at any rate, this card was called the Star, but it was a picture of an octopus, and it was the cephalopod. I also pulled another card that was called the Zombie. And I was like, this is a terrible card because it didn't have really like a good message other than like you're losing control. And I was like, okay, this totally makes sense because of the wine. Like when I reflected on it the next day, I decided to name wine zombie juice because it's literally like a dead fermented grape that is possessing you. And, it's fun in the moment, but then the next day it's not. But what I wanted to do today was talk to you guys about that cephalopod energy. And so when I finished telling you kind of how it was getting home, we're going to get into that. So let's see who's here today, who's joined us. We have about 12 so far. Let's see. Okay. So A1 says, great day or evening to all. Hello, A1. Thanks for coming. Laura, you can see me now. That's good. All right. Teresa's here. Katie's here. Hello. Air travel has become a nightmare. Yes. When I tell you my trip home, you're probably never going to want to fly again. It's crazy. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Zombie juice. So that's what we call it. I'm probably actually not going to ever drink wine again. I swear, because it was my favorite kind of wine. It was a red wine and it just doesn't sit with me anymore. And that's okay. I think as you get older, as your perspective changes, maybe your spiritual evolution changes, your body just doesn't resonate with that vibration anymore. And I'm totally okay with that. Absolutely okay with that. So yeah, welcome you all. Thanks for coming. We're going to talk about octopuses and cephalopods, and I'm going to give you the full spiritual download of what an octopus means. And I've even found some astrology to go with it that we could potentially debate here if you guys want to. So I went to bed after White Sands, after dinner, after drinking a little bit too much and pulling the zombie card and the cephalopod card. But the next day we weren't really planning on going anywhere. So it was going to be a little bit colder and cloudier and a little bit rainy. So we decided just to chill, just to relax. And we did more tarot. We did astrology. We sat as a group, the 5 of us, around the wood stove. And really just as we did the readings for each other, we sort of poured out all of our hopes and dreams and fears with each other. And it was such I'm getting a little emotional. It was such an amazing space to share with each other. And as we were doing that, one of the things we did to sort of break up the sitting down part of it was we went into the center of the bigger dome. This place called the Domes has 3 geodesic shaped buildings as part of the complex. And we were in the 2 big domes. And the bigger of the 2 big domes, shaped like a geodesic shape, has this amazing vibration to it when you get sound going. So we started to chant. It started with just ah, and then when you have 5 voices doing that, the frequency will change. And I remember hearing one of the people in our group actually is an opera singer, and so her ah was oh, and then my ah was more lower, and I also had to kneel because I really wanted to get into it. But at any rate, the sound was amazing. So we did that. And that was beautiful. And then once we had dinner and we're all done with that, the owner of the Domes, her name is Lily, amazing woman. You guys should definitely go check out the Domes and say hello to her from Dr. Danny. I got to convince her that she was no longer a Cancer and that she was actually a Gemini because we talked about sidereal astrology. And she was so happy that she wanted to come over and do a sound bath for us. So she brought her pack of singing bowls And we set up in the big dome again, and the five of us laid on our backs on pillows while she played the singing bowls. And while I was just letting the vibrations move through my body with my eyes closed, letting my imagination take over, the thoughts were completely gone. I actually had a vision of an octopus. I felt like I was underwater and this amazing creature just sort of was swimming around me. This was really such a mystical and amazing experience, you guys. I mean, it's literally God, I'm so happy to be home, but I'm also still processing and integrating all the things that we discussed and shared with each other. I mean, it was truly, truly wonderful. So the next day, the day that we were leaving, which was Monday, yesterday, we woke up to snow on the ground. It was crazy. It wasn't on the road, but it was just sort of set like sprinkling and sleeting, and it stuck to the deck a little bit. So this was, let's see, let me tell you about my journey home, and then we'll get into the deal. Twilight Mist says, I can't drink either. I indulge in kombucha on occasion and that's it. Yeah, I mean, it's over. I used to be able to handle it. I think they young people definitely have a higher tolerance for that stuff. But when you're in the moment and you're with your girlfriends and you're just having a good time and there's wine flowing, who can stop yourself? So anyway, yeah, but so I'm done with that. That was probably my last indulgence like that. Okay, so here's how it went yesterday trying to get home. This was crazy. So actually what I'm going to do is show you guys some pictures first because and also I want to share my emotional journey too on the way home too, because I think when we talk about the octopus, the spiritual significance of the octopus, you guys are going to be really, really blown away with what I tell you. So basically, I'm giving you my experience, and I'm teaching you a lesson through symbology and astrology. So we all got up around 6:30, 7 o'clock, had a little breakfast and some coffee, took some pictures outside, and then it was time to go. So it was 9 o'clock. The first plane was leaving at, I want to say 12:30, and then Jackie was leaving at 1:30, and my flight was for 3:05. So my lucky butt got to sit at the El Paso airport to wait for my flight. My plan was to go through security around 1:45, get through there, and just hang out and wait. So much for plans, right? So the two girls got off fine. Their flight at 12:30 left. They got home. The 1:30 flight, Jackie, she got home. And then my flight started to, as soon as we hugged each other and left, because the hugs goodbye were like even more emotional than the hugs hello. It was like, oh, I don't want to leave you. So everyone was gone, and I was checking to see, where my gate was, and I noticed that my flight was delayed by 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I have a 3-hour layover in Houston, so it'll be fine. And I kept looking, and it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed because there was some weather apparently in Dallas. And I'm going to show you a picture of that here in just a minute. So the weather delayed the flight coming from Dallas to El Paso to take me to Houston. It finally got there, and we took off around 4:45. So it was, about an hour and 45 minutes delayed. But what I noticed was that my connecting flight home was also getting delayed, and it was very erratic. I kept checking it, and it would go from, so I think I was supposed to leave at 8:55, and it went from 8:55 to 9:30, 9:30 to 10:30, 10:30 back to 9:20, 9:20 to 12:05. And I'm thinking, what in the world is going on? I kept watching this while I was waiting for my first flight. So when I landed finally in Houston, it was probably like 7:30 local time. I looked at the weather map, and I'm going to show you this in just a second. And I asked them, I said, where's this other flight? The next one I'm supposed to get, where is it? What's happening? They're like, well, there's a ground stop in Dallas, and because of severe thunderstorms, and it was supposed to go from Dallas to Austin, back to Dallas, back to Austin, and then to Corpus Christi again, or back to Houston and then to Corpus Christi. Well, long story short, when I landed and I saw that storm and I heard about that plane and the idea of waiting another 5 hours for my flight just kind of made me nervous. So I went ahead and I scheduled it for today. And my husband got me a hotel room right by the airport, and the transport was awesome. I got there, and before I tell you about the hotel, let me tell you about what I saw on my flight. This is where it's going to be fun. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you my pictures now because I want you guys to experience what I experienced on the plane. It was so incredibly beautiful. Let me share my screen and we'll go into Stellarium and I will show you what I was looking at. Share entire screen. What'd you guys do this weekend? Okay. So this is stellarium-web.org. This was yesterday in the sky. Let me go ahead and take out the atmosphere, the landscape, put you in the constellations. I was flying from, I guess, El Paso to Houston, and I was sitting on the right side of the plane. So I could see to the south of me, to the southwest. And I watched the sunset. I watched the entire thing from the full disc all the way down. And I saw Venus and moon together. I saw a waxing crescent moon and Venus in the sky, just like this. But you guys, I also saw Mercury. And I have some pictures. I don't know if y'all will be able to make out Mercury, but I wanted to show you what this actually looked like from my plane window. And I thought to myself, wow, if I had actually caught the flight like I was supposed to, I never would have seen this. And I was sitting thinking to myself, man, I'm going to miss that phase of the moon that I love. And it's going to be literally conjunct Venus in the heart of Ophiuchus, this just beautiful imagery. And for some reason, because my flight was late, I got a bird's eye view of this. And it was all spirit led. I didn't really know what side of the plane I wanted to sit on. I just picked the left side going down. It was the right side if you're facing the nose of the plane. And I opened the window and I ended up getting the whole row to myself too. So instead of having a packed, horrible flight, I got to spread out a little bit. I actually put all my stuff into the seat next to me. I took off my shoes and socks. I sat there. I'm small enough. So I sat there sort of Indian style cross-legged and I just breathed. And I just let the sort of the noise of the plane lull me into a calm space. And then I watched the sunset and this Venus and moon energy. And while I was just kind of sitting there in a little bit of a meditative state and, the humming of the plane engines, I could hear in my mind the voices of my sisters when we were singing, when we were chanting in the main dome. It was almost like it was like a clear audience kind of thing. It just came into my brain. It was so cool. It was such an amazing experience. This is what it looked like. I actually have pictures. So let me go ahead and open those for you all so you can see them. Here we go. Okay. This is the storm that we were dealing with yesterday. So imagine this chunk of energy right here, because this was 4:40 in the morning. Imagine this like over here. This is where it was all day yesterday. And it didn't move in a way that was like straight across. It moved. This energy was over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And this storm has been just drifting upward instead of from west to east. So that's basically what we were waiting for. So when I landed in Houston and I saw this, I decided, all right, I'm gonna bail. I'm just gonna, go tomorrow. So I got my flight it was scheduled for 11:05 today. And my husband got me a hotel, and literally I got off the plane at like 7:20 and I was at the hotel by 8:00. It was right there. It was right at the airport. The transport was really quick. They would not give me my bag because they said it would eventually show up in Corpus. I was like, fine, I have enough in the bag I'm carrying right now. I'll be just fine. So I got to the hotel, just kind of unloaded, ordered room service, took a shower, used all the soap in the hotel room, because that's what I do when I have to do this. And then I just settled in and went to bed. Got up around 7:00 this morning, and starting around 9:00, they started delaying my flight again and again and again. So this storm was plaguing me because by 9:00 this morning, the tail end of the storm was right over Houston. So the plane that was coming to get me and take me to Corpus was stuck in Dallas because they weren't letting anybody land in Houston. So they kept delaying it every 5 minutes. Finally, it stopped around, I don't know, they said they were going to show up sometime around 12:00. But the gate that we were at, the plane wasn't leaving because, oh my God, it was just crazy. The connections coming to get on that plane to go to Costa Rica weren't there on time. And so those people were waiting. And once they finally boarded and left, our plane had been sitting on the tarmac waiting for the gate to open for about 30 minutes. So, um, so long story short, finally got on the plane. Excuse me, it was like a 37-minute flight, and then I was on the ground, and it was just a wild day altogether. The other really cool synchronicity that happened to me was that my room number at the Double Tree was room 333. So if you ever need to stay in Houston, great hotel, very comfortable. I had dinner and breakfast, and it was a lifesaver because it turned out that they actually canceled my flight that I was waiting for because of the weather and how bad it was. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I left the hills of New Mexico over here. Let's see, where were we? We were right up in here. And I left there at 9 a.m. yesterday, and now I am home. So there you have it. So this was when I first sat down yesterday evening on my flight from Laredo or El Paso to Houston. And so I just watched the sun as it went through its journey, and you can see it here getting ready to to completely set. And then what was really neat is that because it was setting under the clouds, you could also see the sun under the clouds as it was setting. It was really, really spectacular. Look at that. Look at that. And I was just amazed by that. That was an amazing sight for me to see because there you can see the sun actually setting over the land. So then I looked up now that it was dark, and I saw Venus and the moon. So there it is. So I watched that a little bit until it got darker. And I think y'all could see Mercury. I think I got it a little bit darker. I'm not sure. If you don't, that's okay. But just trust me that I tried to get the stars too. It didn't work. Nope. Mercury was like right over here. This was Venus the first night we got there. So that was cool. But yeah, that's what I saw on this plane ride. It's almost as if I got my wish, and it was a great opportunity to just sort of, I don't know, relax and not worry about anything for a minute. And that's what the stars do for me, you guys. That's what it's all about. That's why I study astrology, because if I hadn't been in that mindset to look out the window and look at the sky, I mean, I could have been sitting there like feeling sorry for myself, crying, hating everything about it, letting it ruin a perfectly wonderful trip. So yeah, that was my experience. Let's see what you guys are doing. Let's see. All right. Lisa Ann Jeanette Lewis says tornado warnings in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri last night. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was wild out there. It was wild out there. Warrior for Truth says, hello, Dr. Danny. Hello, thanks for coming. 333 is my favorite number. Have seen it all my life very often. Yes, I took it as a sign from spirit that I made the right decision because I didn't know that my flight was going to get canceled. I just knew that there were still rooms and there were still flights for the next day. Some of the people that I talked to today that were on their way home here, some of their party isn't actually coming home till tomorrow, so these things can happen. These things can happen. Big weather systems like that, it's very dangerous to fly in. So, I'm thankful. I'm happy that, it all worked out and that I'm home. And I missed you guys so much. So I wanted to come on and just bring you some of my thoughts. I mean, I spent most of the time waiting, just waiting for like where I need to be next so that I could get ready to be home. But so I have a little bit of content for you guys. I only made 2 slides, believe it or not. I know. But I want to know when I go through these and we talk about the octopus, I want to know what your thoughts are on what astrological sign you think octopus might be associated with it. So let me get into this. I am going to go through an article. I have the link for you guys. Hang on one second. Sorry. I wanted to get to The spiritual messages of the octopus, okay? Lisa Ann Jet Lewis says, staying positive and enjoying every moment is a great thing. Yeah, you have to. You have to. It's the world's a little crazy right now. I'm not going to talk about politics tonight. You guys know I usually don't get into that, but whatever is going to happen from tonight is going to affect everyone. And even if it is something as big as a selection process or as small as a missed flight, trying to have a higher perspective is what's really important. So that's what I'm trying to bring you guys today. Just to take that higher perspective if you can, and also just distract you from all the stuff that's going on right now. So let me get into my slides and we'll take a look. Let's share the entire screen. Did you guys like that meditation from last week for the new moon? I really enjoyed making that. I had a lot of really good messages from you guys about that. And it is still ad-free, so please enjoy it. And you can do it anytime. I mean, you don't have to do it around a new moon, but it can definitely be helpful. Okay, so the octopus. I got this from spiritualmojo.com. And these are the spiritual messages associated with an octopus. So I'm just going to read these to you. You guys can kind of take in that image and take in those words. So octopuses are known for their highly flexible and adaptable behavior. With their soft bodies, they can reshape themselves to fit through tiny gaps, navigate complex environments, and escape predators. They also possess incredible camouflage abilities, allowing them to blend seamlessly into their surroundings, adapting to changes in their environments with astonishing speed. When an octopus adjusts to the flow of the water around it, you too can adapt and adjust to the shifting currents of life. Don't resist changes, but rather accept them as part of your path, using them to grow and to transform. Like the octopus, you have the capacity to navigate life's complexities with grace, adaptability, and resilience. Octopuses are known for their incredible ability to adapt to their surroundings as well. They can change their color and texture to blend seamlessly with the environment, protecting themselves from predators and sneaking up on prey. This remarkable adaptation is not just physical, but also mental. Octopuses are highly intelligent creatures, capable of problem solving and learning new skills to survive in different environments. When an octopus appears to you, it serves as a reminder that change is a part of life. Whether these changes are physical, emotional, or spiritual, it is important to adapt with grace and intelligence. So again, don't resist change, but rather embrace it as an opportunity to grow and learn. So like the octopus, we use our wisdom and skills to blend into new surroundings. And remember that change does not have to be frightening, but can be an opportunity for transformation and growth. Now, octopuses are also highly intelligent. They're known for their problem-solving abilities and adaptability to unforeseen situations, changing their body shape, color, and texture in response to their environment or threats, escaping predators and traps with ingenuity and resourcefulness. So the octopus thinks on his feet, adapt and overcome. The other thing the octopus teaches us is to retreat when necessary. I swear, when I read this article this afternoon, I was like, whoa. The octopus is a creature known for its ability to escape danger by disappearing, often leaving a smokescreen of ink in its wake to confuse predators. So when an octopus energy appears to you, it could be a sign that retreating or taking a step back in the face of adversity is the best course of action. So this is what I did, I was feeling just the energy of the world, of the weather system, of the system of travel that I was flowing in. And I knew there was no way to stay and fight. Like I just couldn't. It was time to retreat, to go lay down, to spread out, to reset and start again. So, embracing that octopus energy. Now, octopuses are also known for their flexibility, the ability to squeeze through the tiniest spaces at their will, moving gracefully and effortlessly in the water, adapting to their surroundings, and overcoming obstacles with ease. So this might also be a message to us when we see octopus energy to be flexible, right? So I had to sort of let go of the idea of being home by 10 o'clock, snuggling with my dog, sleeping in my own bed, hugging my husband, all of that stuff. I just had to let go of it, or even getting this ready for you guys today. Like, I think if that hadn't happened and everything had gone perfectly, I really was kind of banging my head against the wall about what to talk to you guys about. So it's almost as if this journey brought me this lesson to give to you guys. The other thing octopuses can do is strengthen our intuition. So they're very intelligent creatures. They have an extraordinary sense of intuition, survival instinct, and allowing them to navigate through numerous situations and challenges. So when an octopus appears to you, it signifies the need to trust your intuition and inner guidance. Isn't that amazing? I didn't even know what that card would mean to me the night that it was pulled. This was, I think, yeah, this was Saturday night. So, um, trusting your intuition and acting upon it can lead to growth and prosperity. So I said, yeah, this is not going to work. And when I got to the hotel, room 333 was a message from spirit. Yes, you made the right decision. So you can camouflage yourself to protect your energy. You can be flexible. You can use your intelligence, but it's really just an intuition intelligence. Like, you have emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence. It's an intelligence when you get a hit in your body or in your brain or wherever it is that you get your spiritual intuitive hits, to listen to it. And the other thing about octopuses is that they balance the use of force and gentleness. So in the spiritual realm, the octopus is seen as a symbol of flexibility, creativity, and intelligence, navigating the ocean depths with precision and grace, using all 8 arms for both exploration and protection. So there might be, whenever you see an octopus, that energy might be urging you to strike a balance between force and gentleness. The other thing too, guys, that I did, and this is really, really important. So hopefully you all are following this as well. Whenever you're in a situation where things are not going well and you have to deal with the world and stuff and the low density energy of other humans and being really crowded, the worst thing you can do is to take it out on people that you need help from. Right. So anyone that I encountered who was helping me find my bag, for example, anyone that I talked to on the phone to sort of coordinate things, anyone that was waiting to check me in or carry kindness. Hello, how are you? Because if you're letting all that stuff out on other people, you're going to make their day worse. They're working hard, they're trying, but they have circumstances that they can't control either. So that's like the biggest thing. We need to be flexible. We need to be kind. We need to be strong. We need to use our intuition. The last couple of points that I wanted to bring up were just some tips and tricks for, and this comes from the octopus article, so you guys can certainly read that, and I'll leave a link for you. But one of the things that's really important is to explore the depths of your emotions. Like, where are you? If you know that you're angry that you're not going home, if you're feeling frustrated or scared or any of that, if you can recognize those energies, and then you can tell someone, like, hey, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm freaking out right now. Can you help me? Like, just being kind like that is a way to get through that. So yeah, I would say be flexible, be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings when you're in a stressful situation like that. Know when to force it. Know when to be the person that gets angry. Know when to retreat. And just if you stay high vibe, then you're more creative in terms of how you fix the situation that you're in. Don't get me wrong. I definitely had some moments. One of the things that I did when I got on the plane from El Paso to Houston yesterday, I cried in gratitude. That's what I did. When the wheels were up, I was like, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think I did that for about 10 minutes just because I was so happy to be there. So yeah, that sort of concludes that energy that I wanted to share with you about the octopus. What do you guys think about that? SW says describes Libra. Maybe. Let's see. Katie says I can't drink anymore either. Yep. Odessa rules. Hello, Odessa. Thanks for coming. I wonder if it's some of these weather events that are mirroring our emotions. I think it's the solar flares. The sun is popping right now. There have been like 7 M-class flares in the last 2 days. Look up like the meditation. Lori liked it. With you finally got your headphones on. Yeah, Warrior for Truth says, love the meditation. Looking forward to more in the future. Lisa Ann says, I wish I had an octopus ink gland. Imagine what you could do. Oh, yeah. Garden Goddess says, octopus is my totem animal. Great information. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The kindness Warrior for Truth says, kindness is what the world needs more of. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Cool. All right. Let me show you the last couple of slides. You guys probably already got a sneak peek of that, but the only source that I could find about astrology and the octopus was from primalastrology.com. They associate the octopus with tropical Scorpio. So I'm going to give you their download of the octopus and Scorpio and how that goes together. So this is what they say. Loyal, ambitious, and intense, those born under the sign of the octopus prefer to deal with facts rather than emotions. Though not necessarily unfriendly, members of this sign can be fairly antisocial. To be more specific, they tend to be uncomfortable in most social situations. Octopuses often don't feel like they fit in or know what to say in social situations. Instead, they prefer time alone or with a couple of their coolest friends with whom they share a great deal and of the same ideals. Octopuses are highly complex characters. Like their animal namesake, members of this sign are highly intelligent and can solve problems and puzzles that would stump their peers. Just as the aquatic cephalopod receives little contact or guidance from its own parents, so too do those born under the sign of the octopus require little instruction compared to other signs. The mind of an octopus is both complex and contradictory. They are part rebel but part people pleaser. They have deep reserves of inner strength, but become nervous and uncertain at the slightest glitch in the plan. They consider themselves straight shooters, but can't stand it when someone is critical of them. They are passive while temperamental, honest while secretive, and always want to have advantage but cry foul play if someone else has advantage over them. There's a considerable dark side available to those born under the sign of the octopus. Depending on other aspects in the birth chart, this dark side may be expressed in different ways. Most octopuses internalize their negative feelings rather than expel them into the world, though this isn't always the best approach. Dealing with feelings rather than becoming overwhelmed by them is the only way to work through the inner challenges and fears that this sign can become mired in. Octopuses need confidence to thrive, or else their potential will become volatile and negative rather than helpful. Ironically, the self-sufficient loner receives most of its confidence from outside sources, at least early on. So it's important for this sign to challenge its own discomfort with socializing. Octopuses value loyalty, honor, and work ethic above all else. They often have difficulty creating their own happiness, mostly because they prioritize things like pride and power over peace and serenity. Always hardest on themselves, members of this sign have idealistic ideas and opinions and a worldview that others can accurately understand. Do you guys want to hear about some of the famous octopuses from this website? Let's see. They've got Anne Hathaway, Tanya Harding, Petta Wilson. Let's see. Sally Field, Carl Sagan. A couple of other ones that I'm not familiar with. Laura Bush is one of them. And so they say that octopuses have the tropical sun sign of Scorpio and are born during the Chinese zodiac's year of the dog. So that is the octopus energy in Scorpio. But I don't know. I mean, if they're saying that it is tropical Scorpio, then it's actually could potentially be Ophiuchus. and Sagittarius because, you move, or it could even be Libra, like the other person suggested. Let's see. You know what? I actually have a spreadsheet I can look up real quick, you guys. Hang on one second. I like the first description of the octopus better than I do the primal astrology. A1 says, so how do we know if we are octos? Okay, well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up that spreadsheet where I can convert the degrees for you guys, but I have to find it. So let's see, Excel. Oh, that's not what I want. I don't know why I did that. Hang on, guys. I really didn't prepare like I usually do for our chats because I was traveling. So I really could just think about it. I didn't have the opportunity to, let's see, it's going to be in here somewhere. It's a spreadsheet that I have where I convert the degrees of tropical into the degrees of sidereal. Let's see, is it in here? There it is. Cool. I'm going to show you guys this. Okay. Let's see. Katie said, I got to see it last night at work. It was a nice treat. I'm usually surrounded by trees. 8 legs, 8th house, Scorpion. Makes sense. Yeah. Did Venus go over the galactic center yet? I think so. We can look at that. We'll look at that real quick. I just wanted to show you these conversions since we're trying to figure out what the octopus would be with. So if we go to tropical Scorpio, which is the left-hand column. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that interesting? So whoever said Libra nailed it. Because if you're thinking about tropical Scorpio, these degrees right here, the 1 through 30, will span 38 degrees of Virgo all the way to 20 degrees of Libra. Okay. So that's super interesting because that's pretty much where the sun is right now, right? The sun has just moved into Libra, right? Let's get it. You guys want to get out a chart and see? Says sun sign Scorpios. My sun sign is Libra, to be clear. Yeah. Twilight Miss, I think who said Libra? Who was that? I'm gonna go back because you nailed it. SW. You get the Ophiuchus for the day. Because I was just reading to you that the article about octopus energy, just the esoteric meaning of octopus, and you pulled out Libra. Even though these primal astrology who puts the octopus totem with the astrology of tropical Scorpio, and it's the same part of the sky. So those stars, that same part of the sky that one system calls Scorpio, where the stars are actually Virgo and Libra, is probably octopus energy. And isn't it funny that I got an octopus card? I had an octopus vision. I have to act like the octopus on my trip home, right? I have to kind of take it in and just be zen. And then you call it a Libra. This is also incredibly synchronous, y'all. It's amazing. So let's look at, let me pull a chart up so we can take a look at that and see where everything is today. Edit chart. No. Okay. View chart. Aspects. All right, let me go get you guys. Okay. So here is the chart for today. And look at that. This is the part of the sky we're talking about. It's basically from all of Libra and the last 6 degrees of Virgo. And the sun has been traveling through this space. That is so funny. I didn't even plan this. I mean, it's crazy. Venus today is about 3 degrees from the galactic center, and she will be moving into that space on the 9th, I think. Yeah, because that's when she starts her transits through Sagittarius. So, yeah, we're probably going to do a live on Thursday evening, afternoon to go through the Venus transits. I didn't want to do a whole lot of astrology today. I just wanted to update you guys about my trip, where I've been, what I've been doing. I really am not exactly sure how everything that happened this weekend is going to ripple outward, so to speak. It could be something where I change the way I do my content, where I change the offerings I have. I'm not even sure. Twin Spawn breach. Yeah, I looked at it. It's really not a big deal. Esoterically, it just means that their energy's reversed, but it's a good thing about the breach birth. A1 says a 77 year of the snake Chinese. 1977 year of the snake Chinese. I'm Vedic Leo, but tropical or Western Virgo. But all I know about it, B-Day late August, so no octo for me. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you got the Libra right. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, well, I think that is all I had for you guys. Like I said, I'm just happy to be back. I'm going to be working tomorrow and Friday and then traveling again on Saturday. So in and out, a different bed every night this week for me. But I love y'all. Thank you so much for coming and holding space with me and letting me download everything that I've been thinking about today and the day before. And definitely just remember, be like the octopus, when things get hard and stressful, especially as this evening draws to a close and in the coming days. We do have a full moon coming on the 15th. So the energy of the moon is a waxing energy. It's pulling it in, it's swelling. So we might have some tension. We've also got that Pluto Mars opposition with Black Moon Lilith squaring it. I think we're going to be in for some intense times. But again, how we are just depends on what we do with it when we receive it, whatever it is that we're receiving from any chaotic energy. If you receive it in a way that's like, okay, it is what it is, rather than it means anything, because oftentimes it doesn't mean anything. It just is what it is, right? And if you can work with it like that and be joyful and just let things flow, you can have tremendous insights, and you can really see what it is that you're supposed to be doing in that moment. So, all right, my loves, I am going to get the popcorn and get ready for the greatest show on earth. I hope you guys are too. You need to know what's going on. Also, the Mars class is starting in 6 days. So those of you that are enrolled should have the modules and the meditation. If you like my meditations, that Mars class comes with it. That link is below. Please sign up for that class. We're going live on Tuesday for aspects with Mars and then just looking over people's charts that are in the class. Yeah, that's it. Okay, my loves, have a wonderful evening. I'll see y'all Thursday. Bye.